Hang on, let me just look at myself in the mirror.
Oh, I'm, what's that song? He's the man in the mirror.
No, I look at myself in the mirror because I am beautiful, no matter what you say.
In each and every way. No matter what you say.
Words don't get me down.
Anyway, welcome back to Andertons TV. That little intro there, Pete was playing some chords. We did one of those things where you all do like, what's that song? What's that song? What's that song?
It's not whole of that song, is it? It's the song that's called Like and Subscribe. Thank you for being with us for 1 million subscribers. And when we hit a 2 million, we're going to give away a Dumble amplifier.
Yes. No.
A clone of a Dumble amplifier.
So,
anyway, sorry.
Well, look, we've got lots of toys in this video. Pete's got a new guitar, I've got a new guitar, and we are particularly trying to pay attention to these very small speaker cabinets from Victory Amplification. Disclose my interest and all that stuff right now.
Have you got something to do with that?
I don't know.
Can you just smell this guitar and tell me that that's not the best smell in the entire universe? Oh, where is that perfume? Where is that perfume?
I know.
Hang on, let me rob myself on it.
So, a few months ago, in one of the little sort of what shall we do at Victory conversations that I often have with Martin Kidd, the chief designer, I was just like, can we not just make a smaller guitar cabinet? Because, people are, I think a big drive for people going over to Quad Cortex and that kind of product is just about having to take less gear.
Yeah,
right? That
it's convenience, isn't it?
It's convenience. So I get that. I mean, what we've done here is in the middle, you can see this is a pretty conventional size, 112. You can see a 212 over here, 412s you've seen, right?
Yeah.
I get why people are going, oh, crikey, that's it's quite a big thing to take to a gig. Still sounds amazing.
You know what it is? It's like getting your shopping delivered at home because you can't be asked to go out and get it. See, I prefer to go out and go, oh yeah, I don't need that, but oh yeah, maybe I'll get that. You know what I mean?
Like to squeeze the tomatoes before you choose them.
Yeah, and
okay, so the challenge here with the cabinet was that actually just trying to make something out of wood, if you want to fit like a 12-inch speaker in it, which, believe it or not, that is what's in here.
It's crazy, man.
Was quite a design challenge. So Martin and the team came up with this really clever kind of idea of making a cabinet out of basically the same kind of construction that the Lunchbox heads are made from. So it has a wooden baffle at the front, so the speaker is mounted to something wooden. It has a wooden back panel.
Yeah.
But the side is a folded piece of, do you know what, I'm not even sure. I'm guessing it's steel. Right? I don't think it's aluminium. It's a folded piece of steel. If
you recognise this sound, please comment in the comment section below what you think this is.
So ended up with a speaker cabinet that is barely the width of a 12-inch speaker. It's obviously slightly bigger than a 12-inch speaker, otherwise it wouldn't fit inside it. Once the cabinet was designed, we went through the usual, put like 10 different speakers in it and see which one you like. There was a very conscious effort to keep the price of these cabinets as reasonable as possible. So all of the speakers that were tested were from a sort of a price bracket that were sort of at the sort of low to mid range of what Celestion offer. Yeah. So we haven't got things like, Alnico Golds or Creambacks or whatever in here.
I might put one in mine
more affordable. Yeah, but you could.
So it's wide enough in the back to
yeah, you could have whatever speaker you want. So you could
potentially buy this and add your own speaker in there if you want.
They are, again, we had in testing, we had open and closed backed versions. And we try them with all the amps. So you're trying them with clean amps, low gain amps, high gain amps, all that kind of stuff. And you're just trying to find like, what's the one design that just works the best across a palette of sounds. So yeah, closed back cabinet. Decided to go with the Celestion 7080. Again, all the testing we do is blind testing, so nobody knows what speakers are in everything, but I can hand on heart tell you that the 7080 outperformed everything else.
It's weird, isn't it?
And again, the closed back design, even for sounds that are perhaps traditionally more Fendery, seem to work better on this small cab. Yeah. So what we're going to do in this video is, you heard a little bit at the beginning, we'll do some extended playing on these. There is, if you go to the description below here, we're going to get one of the guys to do a little sort of 2-minute playing clip of each of the Victory heads, because essentially there's a matching cab. The speaker's always the same, but the paint job is different. So you can have a matching cab for your Duchess, for your Sheriff, for your Kraken, whatever you might have.
For your Jackins.
And then I think also we should probably talk about the fact that I think a lot of people are just buying these speakers to just take out with their normal, especially if they've got a little like a Seymour Duncan power stage or something, and they just want an on-stage kind of guitar sound, because it's so small.
That's where I'm seeing these, and no offense to the people that have bought all of the FR cabs, because they're heavy, man. And 112 FR cab from Laney is super heavy compared to what one of these are.
Yeah.
And little power stages or whatever it might be.
I'm going to put on screen now the weight and dimensions. I know it's about 8 kilos in sort of what's a kilo? That's not imperial, is it?
Kilo,
that's metric,
man.
Isn't it?
Yeah. So kilo is the right way.
Imperial, obviously, in pounds and inches, that'll be on screen now. But they're like super lightweight compared to wooden normal cabs.
It's like a pound is half a kilo, kind of.
Okay, so we're
500
talking about
grams, something like that. Yeah.
pounds, something like that.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want to go first, or shall I?
Well,
go
you
first?
go first. You go first.
I think what we're going to try and do as well here, you're going to hear a little bit of close mic stuff, but I think we're going to try and show you a little bit of room stuff.
Oh!
Because I think that I know personally, as soon as we started talking about making a cab out of a folded steel, I'm going, isn't that going to sound metallic? I mean, I don't know why it would, but I guess that's how you would naturally think. But I don't know. I mean, we're going to compare it to this wooden cab in the middle in a minute, so stay tuned. But I don't think there's any sense that it's metallic.
No, you have to be careful what you say now, Lee, because wood does make it different.
In a speaker cabinet.
In a guitar and in a speaker cabinet.
So that's no pedals. It's just literally the sound of an amp. Pretty clean.
I love that amp. It's a great little amp.
And we're like, I don't know, mid volume in here.
Yeah, it's
not
not
crazy loud. I think the 7080 it's going to be presumably either 70 or 80 watts, right? So I'm guessing that's why it's called it. But
Links
yeah, it's
below,
perfect for this kind of thing. What I haven't seen yet, which I'm excited to see, I want to see like a mini stack.
Yeah.
2 of these, and which of course will sound twice as good. If I put some low gain from a Dane on here.
Dude!
And as I said, say you've got a way higher gain amplifier and you want to say, what does it sound like? Hit the links below and we'll show you what it sounds like with a Kraken or a Jack or whatever other amps there are. I don't know, I had quite a big, I had my big ambient kind of tones with reverbs. I mean, it just sounds like a good guitar sound.
Yeah,
I mean,
it does.
Genuinely, I have really high hopes of these. I think it will. I think a lot of people will go, why am I taking around an FR cab that's the size of a small
FR cab is bigger than this, isn't it, normally?
Most the Fender and the Laney one are, for sure. Maybe, and again,
we're trying to push you to buy an amp and use with all your stuff, basically.
Yeah, if you've got a Tone Master or a Quad Cortex or a Kemper or whatever like that, just try it. See if you've got a friend try it into the effects return of a little valve amplifier into a regular guitar.
You get the heat, you get the warmth.
Turn the IR off, just try it.
Yeah.
I promise you'll go, oh, that sounds really good.
Right, so what you just saw now was actually us just doing the whole thing, like Lee was talking about, just to show you that actually it does sound amazing.
You know, what you have to do though, which we sort of started messing around in a video we shot last week where we took the Fender Tone Master and we had an orange rock reverb and stuff. You do to really understand the difference. You do have to kind of just get an FR cab, listen to it, put a normal amp and listen, because they're just very different sound.
Yeah.
Anyway, tell me about the Mira on the wall, Mr.
Yeah,
P.
okay. Because this just turned up, I'm going to read it up from the website. It's a Mira 594, so you get the 5815 LT pickups in there. And what I really like is that now they're doing, because this is my favorite switching thing from all the guitars to do. I've got it on my Paul's guitar. The fact is you've got a volume, tone, three-way selector switch, and then you can select to switch to split either one pickup or the other one be in the middle position, or the other thing, or that, or up, so they both split. So you got loads of different ways to do it.
I quite like the idea of that humbucking bridge single coil neck as a combination, which obviously you can't do on guitars with like a normal.
Exactly, that's what you can't do, and I put mine in the middle position a lot, and then having a split bridge and a full fat.
Oh, you do it the other way around?
Yeah.
I see.
Because it's a bit more sort of position 4 or 2, isn't it?
I see.
And it's so convenient to just sit with that and just go.
What have you got on there? You got the new style tuners.
New style tuners, you know, the beautiful. Yeah, I'm pointing with my glasses there to seem like a professor. Right, I'm just looking here. Some mahogany body construction with a coil tap in the thing, pattern neck thin.
Pattern
thin neck with a bound rosewood board. Stop tail with the brass inserts. So that's a poor thing, as you can see. So they've got brass here. So
nice demonstration of how ringy the bridge is.
but you can hear it if I just do this. Listen. They're lovely and ringy. So it reminds me a little bit of a Les Paul Special in a sort of a way,
I think
right?
it's NSG.
No. I think it's more of like
Maybe
like
the colour is what's fooled me.
Yeah.
These are American made, aren't they?
Yeah, American made with a bag.
Stupid money, are they? So
They're 1,700 quid, about $16.99.
Obviously, it's all relative, isn't it? It's quite stupid, I suppose. But
because it is
relative to what is coming out of the US now. I think that's good.
The smell is worth $1,000 on its own.
Nitrocellulose finish. Were they cased or gig bagged?
No, they've got a gig bag. So they've got the good gig bags. This is going to be slightly different. Of course, you said I am in the Deputy. Are they doing the Deputy with the salt?
No, they'll always have a black grille. So it's the colour of the cab and the badge will be
What does one
matching.
has to do to get a...
Which in fairness, actually, I think what you've done there is, not that it really matters because the speaker is the same, but I think you've got the cab for the jack.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, for it to match that, I might have to go to Simon now that I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks' time.
Say no.
And then get one made just for me. Or two, like a little
yes,
stack.
it should have the silver logo, obviously, to match that.
So here we go. So I've got the bright switch on. I'm in voice mode 1. That's a full fat humbucker. It sounds beautiful. So that's the split. Sounds good, doesn't it?
It does sound good.
Yeah. Go in the middle position. I'm splitting that, so now we go.
So that's full
Split,
humbucker in the
full,
neck,
yeah.
split on the bridge. The other way around.
And then let me...
You're just going a bit more gain.
Yeah. That's no pedals at all. And no the pedals at all. You split that. Just the amp on its own sounds incredible.
Here we go.
Let's just put a... That sounds...
Look, man, that's great. So let's just do...
This sounds so good with that little cab.
So, and
Two
again,
of those sound amazing.
The width of the cab was kind of designed so that it would sit underneath the Victory Lunchbox amps and make like a stack. But I think loads of people will be buying these cabs just to run with whatever amp they've got.
Absolutely. You can have two next to them and put the thing in the middle.
That's a shout. So anyway, look, there we go. So that's the kind of the quick demo of the cab. And like I said, if you want to hear it with some other higher gain or more voxy sounding stuff or whatever, again, look in the description below. We're going to film those soon. Mm-hmm. Let me just very quickly plug this big cab in, shift the mics across, and then you can get an idea of how does it sound different to the bigger one. So we're going to do two comparisons here, a close mic comparison and then a room comparison. I suspect the additional bass end on the bigger cabinet will be more apparent on the room mics. I could be wrong. And then what I also will do, everything you've heard so far on the Duchess head, I've got the treble and middle flat, and then the bass dialed up to like 2 o'clock. I might dial it back a little bit when we go over to this cab. Anyway, here's the Diddy cab.
I mean, it is an open back cab. The cab is almost double the depth of it. Can I just point out a thing? For me, cabs sound best when they're pine.
Isn't that interesting?
I don't mind birch cabs.
I mean, bizarrely, that is all the Victory stuff.
Because it's thin and it can move a bit, and it's a resonant wood more than a really hard piece of, like the Marshall cabs are quite, not the new little ones, but the other ones.
And again, that we'll talk about that because
so much
people love
sound
that sort of all that sort of little trivia about guitar cabinets. So a lot of the old original Fender stuff, again, and I assume because Leo would have used a furniture manufacturer or something to make the cabs, rather than, I'm talking early stuff, were pine cabinets.
Yeah.
Then I think it became more normal to go over to like a birch style ply, so a much more rigid cabinet, and a lot of like the sort of the 4x12 kind of the
like
sound,
the boogie stuff.
Yeah, it is is a tighter sound, I think, from that 4x12.
Yeah.
The Victory stuff is all pine, and if you know the story of Martin Kidd prior to Victory, he worked for a brand called Cornford, and they had exactly the same issue as Fender did back in the 1940s or whatever, that they were so small, the only way they could have cabinets made was to go to a furniture manufacturer and say, and the furniture manufacturer made pine furniture, so the cabinets were pine. Yeah. It wasn't
Swedish cabinets.
But what happens with a pine cabinet is it does vibrate more than a ply cabinet.
There is definitely
it has a sound that some people prefer.
Yeah. I prefer it, and that cab is so tiny.
Do you know what?
It's so tiny, that cab.
Here's an interesting bit of throwaway stuff. We, as Victory, looked at moving production of the cabs to America because obviously shipping cabs from the UK to America was so expensive. I'm talking about several years ago. This is, and
or having them made over there.
The pine that you could buy from either North America or Canada is softer than the pine that you buy from Scandinavia, and so actually the prototypes didn't. I don't know whether they weren't robust enough or whether the finger joints on the corners weren't good enough or whatever. So in the end, it was like we had to abandon that project because the only way to make cabs in America would have been to have shipped the wood over from Scandinavia, at which point you're losing all of the upside of.
See, Scandinavia is awesome, man. For wood, we are number one for wood. Know what I'm saying?
So so these are obviously metal cabinets, but the rest of the Victory wooden cabinets are a Scandinavian pine.
It's difficult to compare these two because of the size, I think. So if you had a small cab in wood or bigger cab in metal,
I think that's
then
the
you
point,
can kind of go.
Is people need to understand that. Interestingly, what happens with open back is the bass end is less focused. Yeah. So you have a sort of a slightly more.
I like that.
What would you describe that sound as? Open. Tay just said open.
Tay says open. It is more open. It is exactly what it is.
But it loses the definition on the bass end, which is why on the small cab I don't think the open back worked.
And it's also why you have got tone controls on your amp, like bass, middle, and treble.
So immediately, what I hear when you go to the bigger cab,
I'm going to have a heart attack,
is more bass end. But you also lose a lot of the mid-range because but that could be the open back as opposed to the closed backs. It loses that focus.
Let's just do like a.
So let's do this speaker with the bass end turned up a bit versus this speaker with the bass end flat. So hips. And now bass end flat, but the other. Yeah,
it's a different sound,
bigger cab, more bass end, and a more open sound.
It's what it is.
Let's try it room mic'd now. So you can't see this just out of shot, but we've got a pair of mics just above our heads. That's what you're going to hear now. I've suddenly also thought as well, of course, this has got a creamback, Celestian creamback in it, which is about twice as expensive as the speaker in this one. So you've got, again, the comparison isn't dreadfully scientific here. We've taken a bigger cabinet with a more expensive speaker. So look, but you get it. I think what I really, really like about these small cabinets is that they sound fine.
They sound great for the size.
So UK, Europe kind of money is going to be around about the £350 mark.
Really?
Yeah. In the States, they're still under $500, I think, and they're made in the UK.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Pete.
Thank you. I'm going to go look at myself in the mirror.
The man in the mirror.
I'm going to go and have a, yeah.
All right, great. Okay, thank you. See you next time. Au revoir.